Okay, helmet on.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna take it off. Look. So, the crown is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The crown
Yes.
is there. And then she takes it off.
All right. Nick,
I was just totally wrong. I just missed that. But yeah.
Nick, any way you can show that in the final video? Is that legal?
Hi guys, welcome to the Distant Lands Obsidian review. Yay! I'm finally excited to share this video with you. I just wanted to advise you, at the start of the video, we were a little bit low energy. I wasn't feeling very well at the time. Chan had just woken up. So it was a bit of a rough start to the video. I have cut out some silent pauses, but this episode was so amazing that when we go a little bit further in the video, you can really see our excitement pick up. Now, I'm hoping to share that energy with you guys and to discuss this episode in the comments. I'm really excited to see what you think of it because it meant a hell of a lot to me. Alright then, see you in 2 hours. Hello there and welcome to the Adventure Time Obsidian podcast. We saw the episode a couple of days ago and we could barely sit down. It was a very long 24 hours, I should say, before we were able to do the podcast. So, so I'm Tipsy. Everybody say hi. This is
Hi,
Hi,
Tipsy.
Tipsy.
Wait, us or
to me.
the audience? We are supposed to say hi to you, or you're saying the audience?
No, we're supposed to say hi to Tipsy.
Hi,
100%.
Tipsy.
No, don't say hi to me. Okay, so this is Dom.
Hi, I'm Dom.
This is Tulip.
Hi, I'm a girl.
Hi, Tulip. This is Crown.
Hi, I'm Crown/Nick.
And this is Chan.
Hey, I woke up 3 minutes ago.
Oh wait, should I use my introduction to plug my channel? It's Tulip Garden Gaming. You should go check that out.
Yeah, go check
There we
Tulip
go,
Garden
yeah.
Gaming. Do it.
To be honest, I've been struggling to think of a way to structure this interview. So first thing I wanted to ask is, myself and Crown, we've obviously been going around posting our thoughts a lot and forming strong opinions on the episode. So I wanted to speak to the rest of you first. What did you guys think of Obsidian generally?
I mean, I also really liked it. I don't know how deep I'm supposed to go. Dom, you say what you think.
I love it, but I do have some criticism. Yeah.
I was sort of
I'm
gonna
gonna
say
be
the
that
same
person.
thing. I was sort of gonna say the same thing, but I was like, is that what I'm supposed to do right now? Like,
Yes.
no, I
like-
genuinely. So I've only seen it once.
Me too. I haven't rewatched.
Same.
Oh,
Same.
really?
I've
Seen it 3
good.
times.
I was expecting
in as many
everybody except
days.
for me to have rewatched it.
No.
I would have rewatched it in any other timeline, but it still hurts my heart to engage with AT stuff a little bit. So I've been sort of just I loved it. And,
Oh, sorry. Go.
oh, that's okay. That's okay. I was gonna say I loved it, but I'm waiting to do my rewatches for a little bit till I can stop reeling from certain things from the episode.
Oh no, I know exactly what you're thinking of as well.
Oh
But
no, we're gonna get to that.
I do have my own theories about that anyway. I've been following Adventure Time for 8 years now. What got me into the series was finding out that there had been discussion about 2 characters potentially being girlfriends, and I was mind blown at the idea. I'd never even considered whether that could be a thing in cartoons before. So I talked to that community and I just watched all the episodes that had PB and Marcy in, and then I just watched the rest of AT, and I absolutely loved all of it. So bubbling has always been a very long-term thing for me. So this episode was quite special for me. Now, in terms of structure, the episode began with the scene in the Glass Kingdom, with Glass Princess reenacting the play in front of her kingdom. Do you guys remember that scene very much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay, so we are doing the recap thing?
Yeah, let's
it
do
would
a
help.
quick
It would help
summary.
me. Am I allowed to interject at any point? Because I just have to say this.
Go ahead.
Is
Go
this
ahead,
is this an
please.
unfair criticism or like was Glass Princess supposed to just look like Flame Princess?
I was thinking the exact same thing. She has the same color palette, like,
and
did
her
she
like
even
gem.
have to?
I'm
Yeah,
like,
the
I'm
red
like,
gem.
is this like they're gonna do something with that or like make some funny joke, but they just didn't, and I was like,
Nope.
all right.
It's just funny that they could have given her any color, but they decided to use FP's color palette.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's not terrible of them to do that,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's
she's
hard to
cute.
get it out of your mind once you notice it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not crazy. Okay, Tipsy, continue.
No, you're not crazy.
So I thought that scene was quite well done. Actually, I thought it was an interesting way to begin the episode with. Is it a Japanese tradition to use shadow puppets? It looked a lot like shadow puppets that they were using, except they were made out of glass.
Oh yeah.
No, it's funny. I'm a fan of those like intros. I feel like that's like almost like I don't want to say cliche, but it's definitely like something people do. Like the only example I can even think of right now is Zootopia, if you've seen it. Like the first scene of that is like a play that kind of is like foreshadowing the entire thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm always like, yeah, I'm into it. I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Really well.
It's a simple way to story tell, but I like it. And
Yeah.
to answer, I think shadow puppets come from like China or India. I'm not sure, but yeah, Asia. You're right around the Asia area.
I didn't even remember they
So.
did shadow puppets.
I think I thought they did normal puppets because I remember the Marceline puppet was very much like a normal. Oh my god, that Marceline puppet was adorable, and I want one. I want like a doll of it.
Yeah, it was really cute.
I was gonna say about the intro, like going off what Chan was saying. Sort of overall, I feel this episode is structured like so much like a movie, more so than anything else Adventure Time's done. And I think the intro is definitely part of why I feel that way.
I have a lot to say about that. I think that in terms of storyboarders and the fact that there were 7 storyboarders on this episode, you really can't tell. It's insane because they tried to do Adventure Time movies twice before, but they had to cancel it because they couldn't get the storyboarding to meld together. But now they've actually accomplished it, and that's incredible.
I want to give my opinion on that. Where I feel like BMO did a good job with that as well. In terms of like, BMO did a good like 45 minute episode. For me, Obsidian did a good long episode as well. They feel different story-wise, like story structure-wise, but I think they both work.
Tonally, they're like complete different, and structure-wise, Obsidian.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, when Crown, you just said this episode felt like a movie, I was thinking, like, yeah, now that you mention it, it does. And it's also, like, and BMO didn't feel that way. BMO felt like a long episode.
Yeah.
Versus, I guess
BMO
it's
felt like
maybe
a long episode.
Kind of a short movie.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought the pacing was a little wonky, and I don't know how you feel about that. It's weird because, like, I say that, and I'm like, I think it worked really, really well in a lot of places. Like, I love the flashback scenes, all of them. I can't really like hone in on exactly what I felt was wonky about it, other than like maybe the dragon plot was a little wonky. Like it was just like behind the door and then it came out for like 5 seconds and then was gone. I know that's not like the most important part of the episode. Like people aren't like, oh, Obsidian, time to see the dragon. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like no one cares. But like
I know what you mean though, because in my immediate memory, like all the PB Marcy stuff is like so good to me that anything with the Glassboy and stuff isn't like I don't really remember.
I was gonna
at all.
Well, I was gonna say that
Yeah, if you only seen it once, that's fair.
I was gonna say
and it's
that,
not even like it's bad. It's just like the other stuff outweighs it so much.
I think that's what
it's
I'm
more
talking
interesting.
about. Which again, like I don't like. I was there for PB and Marceline, which I'm sure a lot of people were, or most people were, so it didn't matter. But like the Glass Kingdom itself, I don't think this is controversial. I didn't think Glassboy was a good character. He was annoying.
Aww.
I think they knew he
love
was
Glassboy.
annoying though. I don't.
Oh,
I didn't find
God,
him to
I
be
misread the room.
overused or anything.
Okay.
I think I just mostly love his voice. That really carried the character for
yeah.
me.
No, I think that was a little harsh. But I think I think that was the
We're here
point.
for
You're like,
harsh
oh,
opinions.
he's supposed to be annoying, like he's supposed to be a kid, like he's just a little kid, and that makes sense. I think someone mentioned it before. It's funny, but he ruined 2 emotional scenes, I think, with his like zany like "Hey, I'm here," which is fine. But
is it 2? One is the Marceline one. What's
Marceline having
the
a
Marceline
moment
and the mother
with
one?
herself, and I don't remember the other one, honestly.
The other one, I don't.
I just remember getting
I've
annoyed
only
with
watched
that
it once.
twice.
I'm so sorry, listeners.
Which is like a personal criticism because it's like, it's funny. You're like, oh, they're gonna cry, and then all of a sudden Glassboy's like, whoa, it's me. It's just like, it's fine.
Nice impression.
I think it's just like, you want that scene from like Marceline for so long, and you want it to last as long as it can, because you're like, this is finally happening, and then Glassboy comes in, and I'm just like, I will shatter you. Like, oh my god.
I think the only reason I don't care too much, because like, yeah, I would have loved to have some emotional scenes like longer, because I want to suck it in. I want to like what's the word? I want to
suck up its soul like Marceline did to that wolf.
Yeah. yes, exactly. Oh my god, we need to talk about that. But let me finish my thing. But I feel I forgave it so quick because all I could feel was like, oh, that's so Adventure Time. That's so Adventure Time
I
of them to do.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, that was very expecting, let's be honest.
I think
I want to give my opinion on pacing before we move on from pacing.
Well, I was gonna say one more pacing thing, and then
okay, go you first.
I think you guys probably nailed it with the fact that I think the problem I had with it was that the Glass Kingdom story and like the dragon story felt almost just like a hey, what can we do to get Marceline and Bubblegum together for a long time, sort of like, I don't know, like that story didn't weave very well with their plot line, in my opinion, like in terms of like how deep it went and everything about it. I just wasn't that into it. But other than like Marceline and Bubblegum stuff was top notch, so I guess maybe that was my issue with the pacing, if that's even the right word at this point, like pacing. But like I think it's just like whenever something doesn't have a lot of environments, it's just like Marceline's house, then Glass Kingdom. I'm just like, that didn't feel like an adventure. Pacing is bad. Anyway,
I kind of disagree with your criticisms there, Chan. First of all, Glassboy, I felt like he was quite fun. He was obviously a kid who'd... the metaphor is obvious. All the Glass Kingdom people were bullying Glass Kid because he had an exposed crack on his head and he couldn't hide it, so he wanted to fix it. But all the other Glass people actually secretly had cracks all over them, and that's the moral of the episode, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But, I felt like... Glassboy was very much reflected Marceline herself at some point of the episode. So he's a big Marceline fangirl. He goes on to his massive adventure at the start of the episode, whilst we're getting cuts back to PB and Marcy having their amazing domestic lifestyle. And he's very brave. But when Marceline sings her big breakup song in front of him, he's just looking at her starry-eyed. He wants her to win, and he really absorbs what she says, and he takes the wrong influence from it. So when he interrupts Marceline in that scene you just mentioned, where she's crying about her mother, and she's exasperated with him because she wants to be left alone, then he sings a really harsh song about Glass Princess in front of Marceline.
See-Through Princess.
Yeah, about See-Through Princess. And his song took inspiration from Marceline's song to PB. And then Marceline just laughs at him like...
Do I really sound like that, she said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, nah, I shouldn't do that. I should just go back to PB. And Glassboy's like, oh, do you want to read some manga then?
Yeah, so you're saying like he was sort of like a storytelling device to like obviously like see how Marceline has changed, and like kind of he's in a way he's like making her intermingle with herself, but like a past version of herself that she's older with.
Yeah,
he also exactly fulfilled that role, I believe.
Which I think is very good, and I think that I now want you to edit out everything I've ever said, so no one knows.
Opinions are still valid, and opinions can change. It's okay.
Yeah.
That is...
I just had a thought about Glassboy that is probably off topic, but I just thought of it when Tipsy was talking. The sort of like the way this episode was promoted and stuff, I had this expectation, and it would have been so easy for them to make Glassboy a really obvious stand-in for the audience, like begging PB and Marcy to like each other back and stuff. Like, that's sort of what I was expecting from him, and like, thank God that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
A lot of cartoons do that, where like they explicitly reference
personify
the way the fandom is.
Yeah.
And it's like a very, very big majority of the time it's very cringy. So here, like, it works great here.
Yeah, I'm glad he's his own
just a
character.
character.
But what you said about the, like, you know, the broken, like, I think, I don't know if we all agree, but I think the theme of the episode is healing and sort of accepting things as they are.
Accepting yourself,
and
letting your past and like brokenness
just be
like,
a part of
be
you.
a part of
yeah.
you, but be a part of you, but doesn't like define you in a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like accepting yourself and being a part of you, like in particular, more so than healing, I would say, because they like don't heal themselves at the end. Like,
I meant more emotional healing than like physical healing. But I think. But with that being said, I think my issue with the glass stuff was a little too on the nose. I think it worked, but for me, personally, like the glass stuff, like, oh my god, we're all actually cracked and we accept it now. I'm just like, all right, but like, it's fine. That's just a personal criticism. Dom, what were you gonna say about pacing like 20 minutes ago?
Yeah. So I think it was Tipsy and Tulip, I'm not sure, or was it Nick in your server, where I first watched the episode and then I immediately put my thoughts in the spoiler chat. So to summarize, my first impression was like, wow, I really did not like that pacing. I think it's because I really expected like a BMO-esque episode where it would be a 45-minute long episode. So it was nice to hear that you guys felt like it was a movie, because that's exactly what I felt like it. So I guess that doesn't make it bad, that just makes it different. So how I feel is that BMO was like one long episode. Like it's like one goal and then you go through the adventure. But here with Marceline and Bubblegum, it does feel like a movie where there's a setup and there's each have their own separate adventures somewhere in the movie, in the episode, where they each have time to grow apart from each other, and then when they come back, it's like, oh hey, we've healed. So my criticisms is that sometimes it did feel off, especially their motivations, because it is very strange to see and I guess I expected Marceline and Bubblegum to have communicated better over the time that we didn't see their relationship develop, but it really seems like they don't get each other a lot, and I guess that's realistic, right? It's realistic that they don't know each other and they don't read each other's minds, and that Marceline doesn't understand that Bonnie was jealous and just wants, like, oh my god, I love Princess Bubblegum's like characterization of like her wanting to be needed.
Oh, I really like that.
And her
too.
I really love that. I love that they did that again. Her need to be needed. And Bubblegum doesn't realize that I guess Marceline isn't over her sadness, right? And that's why Marceline went away. So I guess as the viewer, where I put my expectations on their relationships, it was frustrating to be like, what? What do you mean they don't understand each other? What do you mean they're not good at communicating right now? When that's reality, like, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you completely understand each other. So I just had a journey talking about this to you guys.
Like, this just happened live? See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this happened live.
This is what I'm talking about, and this is another reason why I really, really value these discussions, because I'm like, hey guys, I got my criticisms here, and halfway through my sentence, I'm like, dude, I sound like an idiot. I disagree with myself right now. Like, I was like, I'm just gonna say I hate Glassboy.
I realize things,
and not think about it, and then everyone's like, here's the reason why Glassboy is a reflection of Marceline, and I'm like, okay, never mind. But on the oh, sorry, Tulip, you can go. What were you gonna say?
I don't know, characters are great. Like, movie stuff is great. Oh, one thing that makes it felt like a movie more than other episodes is the title sequence at the beginning, and they played that song over it. That was really good.
They
good.
not to spiral into a musical discussion or yet, but oh my god, it was awesome.
Okay, actually,
No, we are spiraling into
That's
music
gonna
discussion.
be-
Guys, the music is so
I'm
good.
sorry. I do want to talk about that, but also first I have one thing to say that's actually about pacing. So you guys said you were going to talk about pacing, and then you started talking about character development.
Yeah.
One of the basically, this is pretty much the only thing that stuck out to me as kind of bad when I watched the episode, and that's that Bubblegum and Marceline agree to help Glassboy and leave off screen. We see them saying they don't want to do it, and then the next time we see them, they've already agreed to do it, and they're gone.
Not seen with
That's
Simon
weird.
though.
Yeah, Simon is great. We haven't even mentioned him yet.
I love Simon. I love that they didn't just fix him. That is so satisfying. It's not he's human.
He was a
he's
mess.
completely normal. He's living his life now. No. He still has
What did he
grief
say?
with ice king.
This
He
is
said
how I
he was
cope.
Going in,
Yeah.
he was going inside the freezer.
I
This is
thought-
how I cope.
I thought he was a load of shit when I saw the finale and saw him just turn back to Simon and be completely normal. I was like, come on, you just killed Ice King and now he's completely back to normal. And then I saw this episode and he was singing Marceline's song in the pub.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
he's really kind, by the way. He saw Glassboy being upset and wanted
Yeah.
to take him up Marceline, and he took him to Marcy's house, and he's so cool.
He's a
And,
sweetheart.
I love Simon.
One specific thing while I remember it, and again, I think this is going to be another case of I say this and everyone tells me why I'm wrong, and I agree with you all. But when I watched it, this is just a first impression gut reaction thing. I felt like Marceline, I don't remember. It's her song didn't work, and then Bubblegum was trying to fix it, and then Marceline immediately was like, "I need to go to the place that hurt me the most." I was like, why?
Yeah, that
Didn't want them to separate. I didn't want them to separate.
Not so much the separation, other than I didn't understand her motivation at that point. I think it was
Exactly.
in a writer's sense, they're like, oh, her really sad song didn't work from the past, and she's like, I gotta get sadder to defeat this dragon, but I didn't feel that. She was just like, I have to go to where I was hurt the most so the viewers can see where I was hurt the most. I'm like, alright.
Yeah, that's where the writing was the weakest in the entire episode. That was the second part, I believe, and it was the second part that had the bubbling breakup song, which was fucking amazing. But the present day stuff in the second part was lackluster. It had Marcy.
I think you should clarify, second part out of 4, because it was boarded in 4 segments, because that's how cartoons
Do you mean the
are
second
made,
half,
right?
or do you mean
No, the second. Sorry, the second, because it's 4 episodes put into one. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Because when I saw you make a Tumblr post about that, and you said second part, I was confused about that too. I think you mean
yeah, sorry.
you mean the second part out of 4 is what you
Yeah,
mean.
between minutes 11 and 22, that's the second part, and that would have been boarded
Alright.
by a separate board team. The past stuff was absolutely incredible, the flashbacks, the songs. I want to talk more
Okay,
about those
good.
later.
I thought you
But,
meant they were bad.
No, those were amazing, and God, I just can't contain myself. I really want to talk about
I'm
the
so
songs,
happy.
but before
Songs
we
are
go
so
into
good.
before we go into the meat, because I feel like we're about to go there. The scenes with Marceline singing the song and getting really into it for some reason, like she
Yeah.
got way too into it, and people was just horrified watching her get
Yeah.
into the song, and Marcy just was like, okay, well, I sung that, I guess. Hoping you're doing okay, PB, and then she just sings her heart out and turns around to her and everything. But then,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry. I was gonna say, I could defend them in the sense that they could make an excuse that at that point Marceline was still struggling with X and being like, oh, maybe singing this song made her feel like she's regaining some sense of control, and she's going back to who she was, who she doesn't want to be, but that person is also comfortable for her. So she got too into it. But the thing is, they didn't really show that or mention it. So I think you're just right that she just weirdly got into it in front of her girlfriend.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
understand PB feeling like she was back in that day, watching Marceline do that as they brought back some war flashbacks. But Marceline herself, I think they could have explained it. They could have explained it as she really gets into her music or something, and she probably
I want
suffered a bit of pain
to
from then, but
answer your concern and Chan's concern with my. It's not like a, oh my god, the biggest analysis ever, because they do explain it at the end of the episode. I do feel like they could have set it up better, where it's like, oh, why did Marceline suddenly want to leave to go to her saddest past? And why was Marceline so into singing her breakup song? The idea of this episode, which they clearly like say towards the end with the glass and healing stuff, is that Marceline was kind of having like an identity crisis as a sad person. Like she's like, oh, I've always been angsty, I've always been sad, I don't know how to be anything else. So the fact that Marceline has been happy lately, it's been freaking her out. And that's why the lyrics of like
Monster.
Monster, you're the pink in my cheeks and I'm afraid because what's the
I'm a little
lyrics
bit
again?
soft.
That means
and,
I'm
a little bit soft.
And
Yeah.
they cut this out. I think it's in the full version, but there's another line where she says, I'm a little bit weak, which I think is a harsher word.
Oh,
which
that
is probably,
encapsulates it.
that's
So
the
I
sweater
think-
line. That's the sweater line. I just so you know, I stole your sweater.
Aw.
Yeah, oh my god. The full
So
thing.
I
but
do
anyway.
think that her motivations were explained at the end, but I don't think that's a good excuse, honestly. Her motivations were explained at the end, where the reason why she purposefully puts herself in bad memories and purposely wants to be sad is because it's all she's ever known. It's what she's comfy with.
See, I
Yeah.
agree
so
with
as
that.
as
But I agree with that, but like I said, like in like a writer's context, like I'd rather her say like I'd rather her like stammer and say like I have to go, and then PB's like, where are you going?
Yeah.
She's just like, I have to go. Instead
Instead
she's
of her
like,
being so
I have to go
yeah.
to the place that hurt me the most. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that was definitely a trailer line.
Yeah. I'm like,
I really
Oh.
think that they should have fought about that. I feel like they didn't fight enough in that scene where it would have been like Bubblegum being like, are you seriously leaving right now? Why are you leaving? And Marceline like, I don't know, I just have to go.
I think it made sense for PB because she was like, oh, like Marceline failed. I'm gonna finally prove myself, and she was like working.
Ah,
and
yeah,
Marceline's
okay,
like,
that's why.
"I'm
Yeah,
leaving,"
that's why.
And PB's like, okay, good. Now I can work and do this
So
myself.
PB took advantage of it.
Yeah,
Oh
PB
my
took advantage
god.
of her,
You know,
which is
like,
like perfect.
It's one of those. This is one of those hindsight things where you know your explanation about why Marcin was like that. It makes perfect sense, and now I'm thinking about it. Like, yeah, even at the beginning where she was writing that song, and she was like, "No, it's not good yet." It's the exact same struggle. Like, she doesn't feel like she has that like angst
Oh,
to
that's
motivate
cute.
her.
I didn't
Yeah,
But,
think
like,
she,
about
she
that.
but on your
doesn't know
first
how to
watch-
be happy.
Yeah, it doesn't. It exactly. You know, that's how she's feeling, and that makes a lot of sense. But it wasn't exactly super clear. Like, yeah,
I wish they made her more uncomfortable, you know, like with her happiness, because they do, like, you're right, they do say that at the end, and they don't say it enough at the start, and I feel like they should have said it enough at the start so that we understand immediately that she's struggling with her
I
happiness.
love how you said that word. Sorry.
What?
Me too.
You said
Sorry, what?
uncomfortable, and I was like,
I'm
uncomfortable.
sorry. It's,
Sorry.
it's
Yeah,
my
Like,
accent.
dude, Dom put the emphasis on the wrong syllables.
Stop. It's
Tipsy, I
spelled that
remember
way.
After the episode came out, you were talking about how Marcin was written weird at that moment, and I thought, well, that I don't remember it like that. I remember it being the flashback, you know, and like it flashbacked to the past, and then she was really getting into it then because she really meant it then, but in the present. But then when I went back and rewatched it, you were totally right. It's weird, like before it gets to the flashback, she's getting into it and like smiling and saying, "Yeah, no, you got the lyrics wrong. These are the real ones." And it felt weird, but Dom just explained all that away perfectly. But the episode itself didn't, and that's not great.
If
Yeah.
the storyboarding was improved a little bit, so that her expressions were like more in tune with how we're supposed to be feeling or how she's supposed to be feeling, and if that line was cut, I have to go to the place where I was hurt most, and she just left because she was freaking out because she was in a place where her mother left her and she was in a horrible mood, so she left in a straw. That would make more sense to me, in my opinion, than her deliberately seeking the place where she was abandoned because she wanted to get upset. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, you know what would have been nice if she like went off in like a fit of rage that her breakup song didn't work, and then she just subconsciously wandered into her old like into her old house because like they pass through there, so her subconscious like body would like lead her there, and then she'd be like, oh, I guess I'm here, time to go look at my sad stuff. That would have been so nice, so natural. But like I said, it is because her motivation is that I need to purposefully put myself in a bad mental space because this is all I've ever known.
And that like that revelation at the end, I think the final part of the episode, the final 11 minutes is definitely the strongest in the episode. It is fucking amazing for the entire 11 minutes.
God.
I like that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like that makes it a bit better, what you just told me, thinking that she did it because she was freaking out, that she can't write a sad song anymore, and that does coincide with what she said immediately before she left as well.
I like that. I don't know if you guys felt like this, but no, like not exactly, but for me this reminded me of what was missing in a way that like it was like
Yes.
the first angsty song didn't work and you're like, oh my god, the song that worked is about love. I'm like, oh my god. But I think it is funny that I still don't get why the dragon was so repelled by music, and like
Oh my god, I don't understand either.
even
like
in the
first
flashback,
time...
she just aggressively played her song. The dragon like uncomfortably was like,
Yeah.
all right, this is getting a little weird for me. And it was
Well, the
Shadow
dragons
creatures?
like, yeah, I turned on the subtitles when I watched them when I rewatched it this morning, and those guys were called Glassassassins, which I love.
Oh my god! Why?
Oh,
that's
that's
funny.
so cool!
Yeah, but they were physically hurt by like the music, so I don't know. I guess that's just
By
his weakness.
reverb.
Which
So maybe it was-
which they like. That's what when they showed like, oh look, this is like sound works against it. But I was like, is that really the only explanation?
But how come the second time it doesn't work? Is it big? I thought it really was
the
gonna be
emotion.
like a what was missing. Yeah, it's the emotion.
yeah,
It's the emotion.
It's what's
PB
true.
Of course, PB didn't identify that because she's looking for the signs of the sound waves, which does work to an effect. Like, you see them being destroyed by the sound waves. But first of all, the dragon has gotten used to the emotion that Marcy put in the first song. Secondly, she doesn't feel that emotion anymore. Even though she got really into it, she didn't feel as aggressive. And though it worked, it didn't completely subdue the dragon. And it was the emotion in the last song, which didn't hurt the dragon. It made it go through a transformative change as it gained a self-realization.
Became a cat butterfly.
God, that was so Adventure Time.
It's so Adventure Time.
it's just
It
funny.
reminded me so much of the ending of Blank Eyed Girls.
Yeah, really?
Oh my
I thought
God.
of the like Gunter's egg hatching and
That's
just
what
being
I
a
thought,
cat.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cats.
that's very. I didn't think of that.
But
It's very Adventure Time.
I think my criticism is that when the song did work back in the day, the dragon had like no sign of being in pain. It literally just backed up awkwardly. I was like, I kind of wished it like at least like oh.
Maybe the song hit
It
the
did
dragon
well.
hard as well because it's like
I guess that's a like
it's angry and full of hate. I don't know.
That's what I think. I think the dragon was emotionally... Because the dragon did fire... Because how that scene went is Marceline was getting increasingly aggressive towards Bubblegum. First she was just on the barrier, she walked down it, she went in her face, then she destroyed the barrier, and then the dragon, when she did that, rained fire at her, then Marceline intimidated the dragon back into the cave, and I think it was just really hurt by the pain that was in her music.
yeah.
And that's why when
I
it
think that's fair.
re-emerged, it was more angry later on.
Yeah, that's why it's music that heals it as well in the end, because it just shows that it's very sensitive to emotional music.
I think that's a good segue into the music of the episode. Like,
Yeah!
Wait, no, can I say
segue!
something?
Oh,
Can I say
okay,
something?
No,
Sorry,
I'm
sorry,
kidding.
sorry,
Go
sorry,
Nick,
go ahead.
go Nick.
The fact that you guys just came up with these like super deep character analysis is a great proof of how like when I recorded like my own thoughts about this yesterday, I had this expectation that the episode was going to be like 80% just backstory flashback stuff, but like Adventure Time usually does, it's more about how the flashbacks affected the present. And we get like one flashback, not counting the ending, we get one flashback of PB and Marcy together. And it's like, I was expecting so much more of that. But the one flashback that they give us, it's so perfectly vague that you can pull everything you guys just said, you just pull from that sequence. And it's like,
Yeah.
you watch that sequence and notice that, but it's so easy to pull that from it.
Can I just say,
Oh, yeah,
I
go ahead.
absolutely love how the flashback was cut up into 3 segments and we were shown them in reverse order.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did too. I was gonna mention that, dude. But
The
two
five, the 5 bubbling flashbacks that we're seeing, because we do see 5 in the episode, they're all in reverse chronological order. And I thought that was amazing because they showed us the fallout first, then the powerful song that caused the fallout that it had been building up to the whole
I
time.
didn't notice that. Oh
and
my
then-
god, I'm losing my mind.
And then the conflict that caused the song to begin with, and how it was a misunderstanding and lack of communication, and they were in a bad mood because of various reasons that's contextualized by Marceline, by the entire episode contextualizes it, and it all builds up. Oh my god! And then the scene at the end.
Two things. One, I am very, very, very satisfied. I'm always worried about flashbacks, like how deep and how much they'll have in any context. Especially because, like, I like things to be vague enough, like you said, that you can fill it in yourself, but it's not like a definitive answer that just gets rid of all speculation. But, like, I thought, one, that there was a perfect amount of flashbacks and that they were woven in really well. And 2, this is kind of unrelated, but, like, I felt so much, like, happiness in my soul that this was just a post-finale episode, because
Yes.
until I saw it with my own eyes and I got confirmation from, like, Simon showing up or whatever, I was like, what if Distant Lands is all flashbacks and we never see post-finale? And I was like, please no. Please
I
no.
want-
Imagine,
post-finale.
like, the thing I really... I can't go into this, I'll go into it forever. What I really loved about this episode is it showed a gay couple having
Yep.
a relationship.
And Martin-
adult
yeah.
relationship.
Bubblegum straight
Go
up
on,
said,
go on,
my
Dom, go
vampire
on."
girlfriend.
Yeah, girlfriend, yes.
Girlfriends. Can I say something?
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
Like, my fear, oh my god, my fear with bubbline being canon was like, okay, if they're gonna be canon and they're gonna be real girlfriends, are they gonna change completely? Are they gonna write them wrong? Or like, what's gonna happen? So I'm really glad when Obsidian came out, they were still in character.
They
Like
wrote
Marceline still
them
felt
so
like Marceline.
well.
Bubblegum still felt like Bubblegum, and they were girlfriends. They were each other but together. Like,
They
you
wrote
know
them
how
so
many
well.
cartoons ruin characters once they get into relationships? It's like they're so out of character, but this one, it's like it's them.
Stop.
It's them and it's real.
Nick, stop.
I was,
just feel like-
I was not afraid of that because we'd seen Adventure Time for like several seasons when they'd been together, and they were just still really funny together. That was the entirety of season 7, season 8, and season 9. They were definitely together then, and they were amazing together.
Yeah, but
I
it wasn't, it wasn't like canon.
Explicit.
It was canon,
Yeah,
but not
it was
canon.
absolutely explicit. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. They were dating.
You know,
and having-
there were so many like moments, like obviously explicit moments, like they kissed like 3 times I think in the special.
Yeah.
But the part that really stood out to me was when PB called Marceline her girlfriend,
I
because
was so
like I don't
happy.
think that's
I was
happened
so
before.
happy. No, it hasn't.
Like even in super explicit shows like Steven Universe, where it's very clear that there's gay in there, but like
They get
they
married
don't
in
say
Steven
it.
Universe. The 2 of them get married in Steven Universe. and
never
they don't
even-
say
Yeah,
it.
they
Call
get
each
married,
other
but they
wives.
say you're my wife.
What do
now
they
because
say? I
Garnet,
pronounce
she's
you
just
Gem
one
and
person.
Jam or something?
I
I pronounce you Garnet. They say I
Yeah.
pronounce you Garnet. We haven't heard like girlfriend
Yeah.
in so long.
And-
I think the one time we hear like a queer, not one time, but one of the big times where we hear a queer relationship thing is that Sadie says that their partner is their partner, and they said
Yeah.
partner, and I think they're non-binary, so that was good.
Yeah, they are.
I think
I think that was like one time.
that's probably why it was such a casual line in the episode, which I again really appreciated. Like, there weren't like, we are dating, by the way, girlfriend. But then she just like, my vampire girlfriend.
It's
I was
natural.
like, I was
It's
like,
normal.
why did the word girlfriend just punch me in the gut in a good way? I was like, wait.
How did the word girlfriend feel so natural yet so surreal at the
Yeah.
same time?
We've never.
Is this
heard
what
it before.
representation
Because she
feels?
was angry at Marceline, and she said she got ditched by her vampire girlfriend, and you can see Glass Princess's reaction. She's like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh dear."
Another thing on that is, which I'm really glad about, I was very scared about this happening, was, like, obviously there were some points where they felt a little bad, but I thought, like, halfway through the episode, they were gonna, like, have a big fight, and that's why Marceline was gonna leave, and I was like, like maybe this isn't working. Like in the span of 11 minutes, they just like freak out at each other. But like they got like sort of upset, but they were like, you know, like I understand.
Yeah, but
like,
it's
they
not
were-
a threat to their relationship.
Yeah, exactly, and it
That's
felt
so
great
good.
because they could have easily been like, Bubblegum's like, you're just how you were before, and now I'm gonna fix it, and oh no, Marceline, I didn't mean to, and Marceline's like, I'm out of here, like some stupid stuff like that, but they just didn't pull it. I'm so
Thank
happy.
God this
When
isn't
I-
fucking Steven Universe. Right, okay, never mind.
When I did my personal discussion, that was like my biggest point of how incredibly like this episode's about Marceline. Like it's just about Marceline. It people like and Marceline's Bubblegum's girlfriend, and like that's it. Like there's not necessarily a big drama in the relationship. It's just a drama with Marceline, and you know it's great to see that because you know what, even whether or not it's straight or gay, like stop doing romantic drama. Like show people be happy for 5 seconds in a TV show.
And that's why I think
I'm just glad that their conflict was not about their relationship and was about their like separate
Their
personal
self-worth,
like
their,
yeah.
their own stability, their own wounds, and how they've come. Their wounds brought them together, and it split them apart. And Marceline herself learned that she wasn't a mom. Let's talk about Marceline, shall we?
Yeah.
And not the music.
I know. I'm like,
I have more
We're
thoughts
gonna
about
get
the
to the
music. We can come back
music.
to that if you
We're
want.
gonna.
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we could save it for last. I don't know. Save it for last. It's
I
fine.
think we should.
Save it for last. Go ahead.
Marceline,
Oh.
go.
Oh, do you have thoughts, Tipsy, or are you just like setting the stage?
Yeah, I prefer to set the stage. And
I love Marceline.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say.
Okay. One, all of her outfits were amazing. I loved all of them.
I love all of Marceline and Bubblegum's outfits.
The animation was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I know that's not specific to Marceline, but I just had to mention it. But yeah, the flashbacks were so good. Like, it's funny. Everyone's like, "Oh, we got confirmation of Marceline's mom's name," and I was like, "Did I just straight up miss that?" And it turns out it was in the
It was
it
just
was in the
in
subtitles.
in the subtitles. I didn't have
But
it
it's
on.
Elise, right? Is that her mom's
Yes.
name? That's a great name. It's cute.
Okay.
But I don't know, Marceline. What do I say? I'm overwhelmed.
Going back to what Tulip mentioned a while ago. Oh my God, Kid Marceline. Wasn't that scene great?
I laughed
Oh
so hard.
my God.
Okay, the dog thing was depressing, but
Yeah.
like I laughed so hard. The baby's just like, "What's that?" What did he say? "What's up?" And then he went up to
I
his
think
like
it's like super mutated.
he went up to his
I
dead
can't get
mom and he
over-
was like, "What's up?"
I can't
was
get
it,
over
Nick?
that scorpion and that skeleton with the freaking chain.
Yeah.
With 3D glasses.
with the like people who worked on OKKO also worked on this, right? Like I know for sure that they did that segment of the episode because that Stussy S is like all over OKKO. It's great.
Oh my
I love to see
God,
it.
I love that little S. I really thought she was gonna say it. I think that sequence was great. It was dark, it was humorous, it was emotional. Seeing Marceline so afraid that her mother is afraid of her. Beautiful. Seeing Marceline blame herself that Hansen left them. Beautiful. They didn't mention it, but after Marceline ate the soul, she wasn't hungry anymore, right?
That's right. She wasn't hungry anymore. She
Yeah.
ate the soul
Yeah.
and used it for energy.
Yeah. Wasn't that cool? I think
Love
that's
it.
cool.
That's a good little detail I missed. That's awesome.
It was really messed up when she took the soul of the puppy. No, not of the puppy,
So
of the mummy, and then the puppy ran around the mummy. Like it wasn't the mummy's fault because Marceline's mother saw the puppy and freaked out because it was a
Yeah.
whole new world. She was panicking
I
because she was
can't
dying.
I can't believe they animated that. They animated a person like just whacking a dog, and yeah, it's mutated, but it's still a dog. And I was like so shocked. I was like, oh my God.
Really, that was the most shocking part of the episode.
Yeah, that was the
You
shocking
know what's funny
part.
now that I think about it is like
What?
I thought that dog was so funny because of the like "was up" thing, but I just thought of this now. Like in a sense, that's like wow, dogs are starting to mutate in the sense that they can talk, and then Jake happened eventually, and all the other dogs.
Oh my God. It's Jake's ancestors.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
Which is that's a cool little detail. Like I thought the "was up" was so funny, but like they might have just put that so obviously for comedic effect, but also like "was up" is such like a basic word, like the first one you might learn, and I'm like, oh my god, dogs are starting to talk in the universe now.
And
Can
the
I-
S-Scorpion as well is getting sentience. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to tangent to the emotionalist part of the scene, which is the red light, and her
No.
finding the message. Can I just say, whoever thought of that sequence, whoever thought of that story, I'm still broken over it. Like, just the visual like aspect of it, the fact that the red light stopped blinking, and which means her entire like journey with her mom is also like ending like it's like
Dude.
forced closure, and it's
Dude.
oh my
Dude.
god, what am I gonna do with myself?
Everything about that idea with the red light, the message, her missing the message, the broken ladder, her finally hearing it, the red light stopping, everything about it, I'm like, this is literally genius. Every
perfect.
aspect. It is such
I'm going
a
crazy.
a good plot point. And I'm stupid and didn't realize that's what the red light meant on my first watch.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize it
No,
either.
it's
I
okay.
thought
I
saw
thought it
the
was
scene-
just like, and then oh my god, sorry, Tipsy, you first.
I thought it was a fucking power light. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really get. But then I saw someone in the server mention like, oh, that meant that there was a new message. So that implies that Marceline's mom left that message for her like that,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
minutes
Left
after
that
she
message
left.
for her the moment,
Yep.
the moment she got in that cave thing, that bunker.
And she carried
mom
on
already had left the message
thousands,
there.
maybe not thousands. I don't know. We don't know. Hundreds of years.
Hundreds, like 900.
At
right?
least 900 or like 8 or like 828.
No, 1,000
you know.
years, because Marceline is
1,000?
1,005. Well, at this point, she's probably like 1,015 years old. So she it was definitely over 1,000 years ago.
Well, didn't like the Marceline, the Simon and Marcy flashback say like 828 years ago or
No,
something?
no, you're thinking of the bubblegum flashback.
my
Yeah,
bad.
that's the bubblegum
27.
flashback with the little
right, you're
little
right, you're
bubblegum
right, you're right.
girl.
You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
that's-
just the fact that light has tormented her entire alone childhood life. Imagine that light was the symbol of your annoyance that you're alone, and then it turned out to be the message that your mom left you.
I just can't, dude. I can't think about that. I'm gonna.
Like, what? Whose idea was it to put the message machine that high up in the first place, though?
I'm guessing it was. I mean, yes, whoever made that bunker's an idiot, but also like, it looked. I think they just went in it and they just used someone else's, so they'll blame the people before
Yeah.
them and not themselves. They did put a
Well,
ladder
I've-
at least.
I only watched once again, but I on that speak on that phone, whatever it is, I think there was a piece of tape that said "do it" on it, and that implied to me that like that was a bomb activation thing or something.
No.
But maybe I'm
Yeah.
just wrong. Maybe I didn't.
Dude,
see
I
it.
need to
think
rewatch
It really
that.
doesn't feel like a message computer. It looks like a bunker computer where it's like, oh, if you press this, you're gonna open the door and shit. And,
Yeah, but there was
and
like a play
nuclear.
button on it and a stop button, right?
Maybe
No,
it
I
was
always
Yeah.
thought it was
there.
like a space bar. I might be remembering.
No,
wrong.
there were definitely multiple buttons, and she pressed the play
Oh, okay.
button.
Maybe it was because
Alright.
of bad electrics, you know? Like, I looked at a property somewhere nearby once, and they had the electric meter right in the corner of the ceiling where I wouldn't possibly be able to reach. Maybe because it's a bunker, all of the electrics are at the top and they haven't wired it properly. And also,
Yeah.
maybe that's why everybody died, because whoever designed the bunker is an idiot.
For
The
all
bunker
you,
didn't work, obviously.
yeah, for all you apocalypse bunker enthusiasts out there, I'm sorry that we're like mocking whatever methods you use. I'm sure that radio's
Yeah, if you
being
have your
on-
messaging thing at the top,
Yeah,
we don't know better, I guess.
Yeah, just let us know in the comments below if your apocalypse bunker.
if you have a bunker.
But on the topic of this scene, to sway it away from like the emotional parts, something that was really important for me that I'm very, very glad they included was this is the first time we saw baby Marceline like writing her own music, like on
Yes.
the
Yeah.
obviously like Simon would sing to her, but like you know just the fact that she was alone and she started writing music to cope
How
with
did she
how
make
was
her
feeling.
own ukulele? That's
Yeah, I was
wild.
looking at that like, yeah, that wouldn't work, but it's fine.
You know in like the Bonnie Bob Bubblegum episode where PB's just lobotomized her uncle and she's like really pissed off, and then
Of course.
they start worshipping her, and then she tells them to call her princess, and then you can see she's becoming the character we know later. I felt like this was that for Marceline.
Yes, yes, exactly. Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, at the beginning of the show, Marceline had kind of a completely different personality that she does at the end of the show, which you could see as her developing over the course of the series, or you could see as inconsistent writing if you wanted to interpret it that way. But, like, in this, in the flashback, in the, like, bubbly flashback, when she's, like, breaking up with Bubblegum, she acts like she did in season 1. It's consistent. Like, she used to
but
be that
still
way, and
in
now she's
character.
not. Yes, like, I love seeing that because it's not like retconning. It's not like, oh, she was never rude. Like, yeah, she was. She just got better. And then also with the flashback scene, we got to see her kind of becoming that person who she was in, like, season 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Tulip, you're blowing my mind. I didn't even interpret it like that. Ah!
Yeah,
That's so good.
as you do when you watch amazing new episodes, I listen to the song we're not going to talk about the songs yet, but I listen to the song in the car with my dad, because, like, he's interested in this stuff and he supports me. And he goes, he was like, why is Marceline so mad at Bubblegum? What'd she do? I'm like, she didn't really do anything. Marceline just sucked.
It's the Candy Kingdom, right? It's
Yeah.
because Bubblegum started getting busy with the Candy Kingdom, and Marceline's like, "What?
Yeah.
Please, just be my
But my
normal
dad's like,
girlfriend.
why is
do you have to
Marceline
be
being-
a dictator?"
My dad's like, why is Marceline being so mean? I'm like, well, Dad, sometimes people are just mean when they're younger.
and it fits exactly with what Hinden Walsh said all those years ago when she said that when PB was young, she came out with Marceline, and then PB grew, focus. But that actually segues perfectly into the episode, because Marceline's flashbacks, her issues of abandonment, when her mother said specifically, "I don't have time for you right now."
Oh,
And
yeah, they
then
used that
PB
line
said
3
later.
times, right? 3 times?
Oh
What
my
was the
God.
third time?
I think there was 3 times. I don't remember the third one, but there was definitely 3.
It was repeated. I
Right,
don't
It
know.
was
when.
done at least once. So PB said
I
that
didn't
to
notice
her.
either, but yes, now that you mention it again, like, I get it now.
Oh my god.
And she said that, and she thought that her mum abandoned her because she's a monster, and then PB called her monster trash. And if you combine that with the fact Marceline has been abandoned by her father, by Simon, by everybody who was supposed to look after her, and now
Characters
suddenly,
with abandonment issues are my shit, baby.
Also, like, to put a cherry on top, combine it with the fact that she's immortal, so if she ever did make a friend, she would have to watch them die, and she'd lose them, all, like, again.
Stop.
You
Yeah,
know?
but-
Stop.
this is her girlfriend, like the one person she's let into her life and who can trust, and her girlfriend says those things. PB has no idea. PB's like in a bad mood. She's pissed off with Marceline. Marceline's acting like a complete sociopath from her perspective.
Yeah.
PB is acting really self-centered from Marceline's perspective, because PB wants to do it for herself almost, and Marceline just completely flips off, and she thinks she doesn't want PB to abandon her, and she's so hurt that she sees it happening.
I think it really hits Marceline's like soul if she's not needed. So the fact that I really like the line where she was so hurt that that PB brought Morrow with her the whole time. She was like, "Oh, you thought I was gonna fail?" And PB's like, "Yeah." I'm pretty sure Marceline was super hurt by that, because it's the same thing with her mother, where like her mother was just so busy that like Marceline can't ever help. She's the helpless little girl. So I think she grew up afraid that she was never gonna be helpful, and hearing that PB doesn't need her help probably hits home.
Oh, yeah,
And
it
I think
definitely
that
does.
hurts.
Imagine, being young Marceline and having that feeling that you can't do anything to help, and then suddenly, like, having to completely fend for yourself and live completely alone. Like, it's got to be. I mean, obviously, it's tough anyway, but
Well, especially because she survived on her own, and she was capable, and to her
I
that
think it's
probably
because
hurt.
she can help. Yeah.
Well, that's
like,
why it hurt so
she
bad.
sucked
She's
that
like,
that soul, but
every-
then it's. Sorry, go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, everyone in her life has, not exactly, but to her has said, like, we don't need you, you're not helping. But she's like, I'm surviving on my own, I'm good enough, why is everyone telling me I'm not? So then she goes, she retreats into herself because everyone else is telling her she's not good enough, and she clearly is, and that obviously, that contributes to her trauma. It's just, it's so good. Something I wanted to mention, which is in the same scene, I was really nervous because I was like, okay, they need to tackle what happened between these two in a way, like, in such a delicate way, because they could mess it, like, I was worried that whatever made them, like, not friends or not date anymore back then was gonna be some crazy thing, and like, I would have been like, I could never see them, like, even talking casually like they did throughout the show after that, but, like, the scene was, like, it was just, like, they weren't grown up enough yet, neither of them were ready, and, you know, it didn't work out, and it kind of ended badly, but, like, not in a way that it didn't, like, invalidate the show in the sense that, like, they wouldn't still, like, kind of be friends or kind of be able to tolerate each other but still be a little annoyed at each other. Like, it was really good, and I was happy about that. Like, I thought Marcy was going to be like, hey, PB, I killed your family by mistake, and PB's like, get out of here. I hate you, you killed my family, and then, like, the show just went on.
That canonically happened, and PB didn't care that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Of course.
I accidentally pressed the go live button on my recording software, so we were just live streaming like half of that discussion.
Oh, heck yeah.
Where were you live streaming it?
The TV, dog.
Where?
The TV. We live streamed to all 5 apocalypse bunkers across the nation.
Oh my god, 58 minutes ago, Crown Cryptid Nick P is live.
And
Part 1,
couldn't-
Team Fortress 2.
They couldn't turn us off because the shut-off button was too high in the ceiling.
We have
We literally just made the red light for someone else.
47 views, Nick! Nick, there's 47 views!
It's fine.
There's 8 likes!
It's fine.
8 likes! This shit wants itself, I swear.
See, at least I didn't accidentally have anything on screen.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, I can't even comment on it. I'm not allowed.
Should
Turn
we
on
s-
comments,
Should we
Nick.
stop?
Oh, I ended it. It's over.
Okay.
There's 8 likes.
Oh
I
dear.
think. What do you think? Do you agree it's a good time to start talking about the music portions?
What music?
Yeah.
Was there music?
Yeah,
in
no, I actually have only seen it once, but I think there's music in it. Yeah,
really?
I'm pretty
I
sure.
I think the lyrics are so intertwined with the story that we will have to talk about the music
Oh,
whilst
that's
we're talking about the
that's
story,
fine.
and especially about bubbling. So, so regarding the lyrics, this was an incredibly brutal song. Marcy clearly didn't give a crap about the welfare of the candy people, but she called PB a despot. She said she ruins everybody's lives around
She called her a
and-
dictator, straight up.
I love it. I love it. Oh, if only she had fascist in that lyrics, it would
Oh,
be
so
good
we're going
too.
right to the breakup song. I was gonna say, like, the first, like...
Let's start from the top.
Well, yeah, like, the first... I think when the title screen kicked in, they did, like, sort of like a... I don't even remember. It was just, like, this really good, like, indie-sounding rock
Yes, it
song.
was.
Yeah.
And I was like,
really
this is
liked
really
it.
good. It's like, I don't know, it set the mood so well, and it was also so different from what I'm used to with the show. I love
It really
know.
helped making them feel like the domestic couple they are. It's so nice.
Yeah, like, seeing that first scene with them doing all that stuff, like, it was... God, like, it was a blessing. Like, we live in the best timeline, honestly.
Also, that first song is definitely has more meaning on rewatch.
Yeah,
I'll vouch for that.
is that originally wrote for Obsidian, or was that just
for
It's
sure.
definitely
I mean,
for
yeah.
For
Obsidian,
sure, yeah.
definitely.
It's called. I'm looking at the credits right now. It's called "It's Funny." Here, let me put the
Yeah.
screen cap so that we have a nice little reference. when
Okay,
we wanna talk about
like
the
I want
music.
to talk about that and also other songs at the same time. So we're not going to go in chronological order. Is that cool?
Yeah, yeah,
So-
that's cool.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the vocals for "It's Funny" is Glassboy, or like Glassboy's voice actress. I mean, not him in
let me
character,
check.
but like it seems a little weird to me that Glassboy has 3 songs, counting that one in the special, and like, you know, the one in the middle about See-Through Princess has a clear meaning.
Because
But the-
Michaela's voice is good.
Yeah, but then the other 2, the one at the very beginning and the very end, are sung by Glassboy, but are
Yeah.
about Marceline. Like, it's weird. Like, because when you listen to the lyrics of "It's Funny," it's pretty clearly from the perspective of younger Marceline. Like, it could either be when she was like a kid living in the bunker, or when she broke up. You know, or I don't know, one of
Wow.
those 2 time periods, or
I
maybe
have to
some time
re-listen
in
to
the
this
middle.
song.
You should, because it definitely is that. But
It's
also,
funny, it's good.
and then also at the end, you know, diegetically, Glassboy is singing to See-Through Princess, but
Eternity
really the lyrics
with
are
you,
about,
yeah.
like, are pretty clearly about Bubblegum and Marceline spending an eternity dating
love
each other.
the song "Eternity with You." I love it so much. It's so sweet, and I want to listen to it over and over again. And yeah, I love it because, like, I think it makes sense that Glassboy starts and ends the episode in a song where it sounds like Marceline is singing, like the lyrics are written by Marceline. It's because it ties to the plot point that Glassboy is supposed to be a
Yeah,
reflection
you're
of
right.
Marceline. Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah. Bruh.
Can I apologize again for calling Glassboy annoying? I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah?
He's not annoying. He's just fine.
Yeah, well, like, specifically the point that I realized, oh yeah, this is definitely Marceline with the I'm Funny song at the beginning, is that one of the lyrics is like, you know, when people run, it's because I want them to, you know, like the exact thing that she says in the flashback. So, yeah.
God, I have to listen to this again.
Yeah, It's Funny is about Marceline scaring people and laughing, but she's clearly distressed, but she's pretending that she's laughing at it. That's what It's Funny is about.
God.
It's a really good song.
Yeah.
All the songs are so good. I think it's also really nice that they paid an homage to an older Adventure Time song, which is Remember You. Like, it's just so nice to hear something so familiar. It really puts you into the world of, like, this is Adventure
When
Time.
I first
It's
heard
not
that,
just
I was like, "Oh, why is he doing that?" But when I saw him like dressed up as Ice King, it made more sense. So I was like,
yeah, because he
that's
can't
weird.
move on.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of weird that he's doing that. Like, it felt like a shoehorned like reference to the old show. But then I was like, okay, never mind. When he was like in the Ice King outfit, it was funny.
Also, yeah, there were really good subtle references to other stuff from the show, like Dirt Beer Guy's Tavern.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway,
that was
we could talk about that later. Songs. What do we have to say about the songs?
So moving on, obviously, to what's it called? Woke Up. That song
Woke Up.
is so
Woke Up
good.
destroyed me.
That song is so... Right away, the night I was trying to sleep after Obsidian, I just could hear it in my head. It was... And I was like...
The past 3 days, that's all I've been able to hear in my head.
I was...
Oh, well, when the instrumental started kicking in, it was
That's
the
what I
exact
mean.
same instrumentals from the trailer. I had the biggest goosebumps. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. It's so cool.
Oh my
Bang,
god.
bang, bang on the door, and when Marceline starts walking, the drums
Yup.
kicking at the same time of her step, and when she kicks the finger
And-
over... Yeah.
And like the whole song, the way it built, and just like the lyrics, I was in Nirvana, like I ascended. I was like, this is like the peak of existence right now.
Well, it's weird because like "Woke Up" is obviously the banger of the episode, but I also feel kind of conflicted about liking it so much because it's you know obviously like from a bad period in
Yeah,
both of
but-
our
It's a bad
lives.
period.
But
like-
it's satisfying. It's a satisfying song to hear, and it's a
Yeah.
like you're allowed to like it. Like, 'cause it's
We have to accept that a lot of Marceline and Bubblegum's relationship was misunderstanding each other. So I think this is a good like summary of why they broke up, like why they didn't work out, and it's a
I know,
banger.
it's-
Like
no,
hell yeah.
it's such a great song, but it's like what it's about is like no, but this is wrong. You shouldn't break up. I don't want that.
well, it's just like yes, they should have at that point. I know we don't want it, but like they weren't.
Yeah,
know,
they weren't good for each other at that
and
time.
That song, the way
Exactly.
that was my favorite part of the reverse flashbacks is when Marceline goes, well, as long as we're being honest, and she starts playing the bass, and then it cuts the flashback.
Stop
I was
it.
like,
Yeah.
oh, that was so
Oh my
good.
god.
Like they gave us context for why she like broke out into
Why
that
she started
song
singing it.
afterwards, and I was like, oh man.
It is
That
such
scene
a
was perfect.
cool
From the
song.
bass drums to walking and the door banging to like the way Marceline looks. She's super sexy. I love her outfit.
Oh, she
I
looked
just-
great,
and
right?
She looked
Yeah.
great. It's a good song. It's a good song, guys. It's a good song.
I think it's my favorite song in the entire series, and I think it's like I think it's the only song in the whole series that
Played
I can
through?
listen to outside of the context of the
Oh,
series
yeah.
and love it a lot.
That's why I played it for my dad. I was like, Dad, listen to this cool indie song. Like, I was just like, this is so good. Not actually, because he knows I love the show and he's interested. He loves her voice. But I'm like, dude, you have to hear this. Just the fact that it was, I think you said this, Nick. I'm not sure, but maybe Tulip. It was like that was like the first song that was uninterrupted. The entire there was no zany scene in between. Like it was just full the full thing.
Yeah.
It was
It's
so
a music
exciting.
video
Solid.
sequence, and it as much music as the show has, it's kind of one of the only one of those that we've ever gotten.
It was so good. Like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Especially because
so satisfying.
Especially because they played Monster before the special aired, and I'm like, I was worried that I was like, okay, they played the one good song from it, and the rest are forgettable. But it's like, no.
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 Oh, that's so wrong. Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't I was just nervous about that. I didn't think that was the case, but I was nervous about it because in the past when they would preview songs from episodes of the show, usually that would be like the only song in the episode when they would play the songs ahead of time at like Comic-Con. Obviously, this is a special case because it's a Marceline 44-minute whatever, but yeah.
I guess I was surprised too. Like, I really thought Monster was gonna be like the highlight of this episode, but I think it's like Woke Up is too much of a banger, and
but that
oh my
being
God.
said, Monster. Oh,
stop! I'm
my
destroyed.
Tipsy,
Stop! Oh
Tipsy.
my god, Monster!
Do you remember we were talking about this and you were like, I'm worried it's just going to be another vague song? I heard Monster beforehand. When you said that, I was like, you are wrong. Because she says body.
Because I only saw this song the other day. I didn't see it months ago. And when I saw it, I just couldn't stop thinking about how brutal an attack on PB's character it was, especially in the context of
Wait,
it
you're
being
talking about...
the glass.
You're
Monster.
talking about Woke Up. Oh, Monster?
No, they're not Monster. Woke Up.
I was like, wait
Woke
a
Up,
minute,
Woke
oh
Up.
my God.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I moved on.
Okay, so...
All right, go
Woke
Monster.
Up.
Oh no, Woke Up. Fuck.
She says, I should say that you're kind of a dictator in a way. You're to blame. You're a constant source of misery and pain. What a shame you're stuck up. I know you won't change. And then later on, she says, I don't really think you're fit to rule your candy kingdom. She is really going for her throat
She's
in this one and
hitting
trying to
hard,
hurt her
yeah.
in ways that she know PB will be hurt by personally. So I am not surprised this resulted in their breakup whatsoever.
I don't really care about your stupid candy kingdom.
Also, I love how you can kind of hear how the Goss people got the lyrics wrong.
Oh, it's so funny. What
Yeah.
did they say? Like, all I remember is coconut.
Something coconut.
Coconut.
Yeah.
I don't really
Instead
care
of
about
stomping
stomping
on
on
the
the coconut.
Instead of candy kingdom,
Oh,
coconut.
God.
That's so funny.
Imagine singing for generations, like treating it as like a holy like song, and then you got the lyrics wrong the whole time.
Imagine singing this song ever, like, without being Marceline at that moment. That would be weird.
But that's
It is.
That's what I mean, Tipsy, is like I totally see why this would have made them like break up and not talk and grow apart because it was such a brutal thing to
Yeah.
happen. And I'm so happy
Yeah.
that I feel that way because I was like, I really hope that the show can convince me that this is like a natural thing, like a
I
real
know,
thing.
it's so good. Because the whole show they had to just dance around it, and be vague about what exactly
Yeah, be
happened
vague
in their
about what
past
they
and,
fought about.
and how they feel about each other now, and this special just goes right for it. Like, here's exactly what happens, and it makes perfect sense.
God, I got chills. Now, anyone else have something to say specifically about that song, or?
Watch What Was Missing again. It will fucking change. It'll change everything.
Oh my god, it's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monster. I will say ahead.
Oh,
I will say
Monster.
now that I have seen it in the show. This was the first time that I ever watched someone sing. Like, I watched Olivia Olson at the Comic-Con panel sing it early. Because before I wouldn't do that because I was afraid it would ruin it. I was correct. No, I wasn't exactly correct, but if I didn't ever hear that song and I got to hear it for the first time in that moment, I would have probably been dead. I would have died. I already, I did die. I mean, it was beautiful and I loved it, but I already knew the song and I was like, I wish I did not spoil this. What is wrong with me? God.
Well, I
Guys,
think
don't
the
you just
emotional
love-
weight of the situation really makes it better.
Oh,
too,
it was
'cause I
still
listened to it
wonderful.
early too.
Yeah, it was still wonderful.
and-
I just wish I didn't.
And Chan, you just said too, like you would expect there to be like one song in the episode. Like I was kind of that same way.
It's just because that's how we've been
when
conditioned.
Comic-Con happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I thought there'd be other songs, but they would just be like little riffs or like little
Yeah,
tiny
yeah,
things.
exactly.
because that's how like Adventure Time has been. They're like, here, we're gonna sing "I Remember You."
Yeah, because it's 10-minute episodes.
That's actually the worst example I could have picked because there was like four songs in that episode.
4 songs.
Like honestly, I think you were right too, but I avoided hearing the song early. I like to try and go into things as completely unspoiled as I can.
Same.
Honestly, I wouldn't have even watched the trailer if we didn't have to for the drawing video.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I got to see Finn before I watched the fucking episode.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Nick.
Don't talk about that yet.
We're talking about that last.
We kind of need to wrap up
Get there
before we.
eventually.
No, I know. Let's just get through Monster.
Okay.
I want to say, don't you guys love that Monster and Woke Up are just so explicitly gay? I know that we
Yes.
already talked about this
Yes.
one in the episode. So happy that they're explicitly gay, but it's just so nice to have a song about two girls loving each other.
Yeah, and the lyrics, like, God, I personally messaged the person on Twitter, like, I love this song, and they showed their appreciation, but, like, the lyrics were so perfect for that moment, and it was so good. God, like,
I love
the change, like, the subtle change of, I'm scared that it means I'm a little bit soft, changing to I love that it means I'm a little bit soft at the end. Like, oh, God.
So I know it's emotional that she started playing with the ukulele for this song, but I have like a tiny heartbreak in my heart where I'm like, oh, I wish the bass didn't break because I want to hear what this song sounds like with a nice chill bass.
The bass broke and I was like,
the bass broke. What are they? How dare this bass break? No.
Yeah, but also that's sort of a symbolic thing because Marcy's moving on from being
It
punk
is
rock.
symbolic. Yeah.
I talked to Dom about this a little bit the other day, and I said the same thing. I was like, oh, it's symbolic, but at the same time, I'm like, you could also make an argument that her using, like, the bass not breaking and her being okay with using it was symbolic of her accepting her past and moving forward with it, instead of being like...
If the bass was just a little bit banged up, but still playable.
Yeah, exactly. Because the fact that it broke completely, it's just like, oh, she let go of her past because she was okay with her bass breaking. That's completely acceptable, I agree. But I'm also like, I love the bass. Could you maybe?
Yeah, I love the bass.
Well, like, also, this might be a little bit off topic, but I want to mention it before I forget. You know, while the song Monster was playing in the episode, we got to see that flashback of Larvo, like Larvo's backstory, and I'm pretty sure it was animated in a different art style than usual. And didn't we talk about that in BMO? We were saying maybe every episode is going to have a little guest animated segment. We might be right.
Oh, you're right. Oh my god. My god.
I was actually going to mention that flashback. It's so Adventure Timey to make the monster have like a tragic backstory. With that being said, I got a little frustrated that they use because I think they did one scene of Marceline and Bubblegum being young and laughing together in the beginning.
That was good, though.
I thought Monster was going to be a little kind of like silent montage of moments that they spent together. I think that showing the dragon's backstory there was like retracting from the song. Like, I felt distracted by the visual contrasting to the song itself, even though I know the song is like, okay, the monster's hearing it now, and this is why the song is affecting this monster. We want to show that. I agree. That's fine. But I'm also like, dang it, I wanted my PP Marcy montage.
I kind of disagree with you there, though, because as much as like I screamed when she said we were messed up kids who taught ourselves how to live, and it just panned to PP and Marcy from the past, you know, the time period when they argued, and just before then when they were having an adorable romantic moment, and it was just... They were remembering the past because it's not all pain in the past. They had a romantic moment in the past, and they loved each other in the past, but they'd just grown up since then and become much closer. But I also liked the music video, I'll call it, of the monster, because it was like a representation of how Marceline felt about herself, and it was also really cool and very Adventure Time that they gave the monster a really tragic backstory, like out of nowhere.
I had to I haven't double checked this scene. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong, but so it was with its family, and then like a manta ray came and like ate all of them. I was wondering like if the manta ray, like if they did any sort of sound wave thing, because if the manta ray had like this big sound wave coming out, maybe that's why it was afraid of like loud sounds or something. But I don't think that actually happened.
No,
it's made of glass, so it might be the vibrations from the glass that kill it.
Oh, the monsters.
Well, I don't know if Larvo is glass, because, like, I mean, apparently it can make the glass assassins from its, like, blood
Yes,
or something.
Yeah.
But
PB, just before she does that really cool thing where she makes the root beer from her hand, which was an awesome shot, by the way, she takes an injection from it, and when she puts it in the bowl, it turns into one of the glass assassins. I think it's pretty evident that the monster is made out of glass, and that's why it lives in the glass kingdom. And that's why it transformed into such ways, because glass does transform when you work with it.
That's a good point, and also, I didn't realize this till you just said this, but that's, like, a really good thing to include, because it's like, it is made of glass, but everyone sees that as a monster, and they locked it up, and it's like, I'm made of glass too, why am I being locked up? And then it got angry, and that's why Marceline's song...
I don't
broke
know
its heart
about
so
all that.
Dang, I got one
I mean,
bruh,
it
and I
just
got
doesn't-
one I don't know about that.
Like, it just doesn't look like it's made of glass. Like, if they wanted it to be clearly made of glass, they could have done that.
Yeah, but like canon or not, it's still
I
fun to interpret.
Yeah, but also, like,
Just
maybe
sort
you
of
could say, like, it's glass on the inside. If she took a sample from it and it could make glass... I don't know.
Yeah,
We might be
like
reaching
it has some kind of relationship with glass, I get. I mean, we know that it used to be a fish, and then now it's like a cat on the inside. I just don't see how glass is a part of it. Like, it somehow is, because it could make those assassins. I just don't understand how.
The cat and the fish both look like they're made of glass, by the way.
Dude, that cat thing, again, that was so Adventure Time. I was almost like, why did you do that? I think I was like, why did you do that? But it's fine. Like, I guess it's supposed to be like a really on the nose, like, it transformed, and it's like a butterfly now. Like, it transformed out of its hateful cocoon, and I'm like, and they made it a cat because Adventure Time. I'm like,
Also, it had
alright.
it had a crack on its head the same way the Glassboy did.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like, by revealing it is what made it heal, I guess.
Yeah, like, glass or not, it definitely felt like, why am I not being included? Why does everyone think I'm a monster, sort of thing, which is, really sweet. So I really enjoyed that. The song was amazing, and what else?
Yeah.
What else?
Well, if we're done talking about the songs, then I
wait.
think there's only one.
One
big
sec.
topic
No,
left to
one
cover.
one
Okay,
big
yes,
one
what?
big sec. One little thing. We have a lot of correct predictions
Oh god.
Yeah.
based on
I-
our drawings from before.
I was going to say, should we make a separate video for that? Because I thought that would be funny. I don't know.
Like,
not
honestly,
sure
I was
if you
just
guys
thinking
want
maybe next week or something we should like just get together and watch the thing together, but then pause every time we see a correct prediction. And, like,
Yeah.
we should
Yeah,
do
I would
something
love
like
that.
that. I would like to do that.
I would love that. Okay, okay.
There were so
Alright,
many
so-
jokes in the episode, though. Like, I don't want to just pass by all the jokes because it was so funny in the third part in particular.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, like,
Man.
my favorite joke
I would
from it.
need to rewatch
Yeah.
for my jokes. I have only watched it once, but
I
I
got
remember
one.
laughing
I
a
got
lot
one.
with my brother.
I
What?
got one. Marceline came back. She's like, I feel a wave of acceptance rolling over, and PB goes,
Mm.
no!
It was really funny. Did you remember the start where she first arrived at the kingdom and then was really hyped for the ceremony and tapped the glass and opened the bowl and ate the sand?
She ate
the sand. That was probably my favorite joke, honestly.
And then
That
she
was
said,
so good.
then she said later on, she called herself a role model when Glass Princess was like learning a bit from her, and she's just so stuck up. And then she she said, based on my advice, and then she said, I'm a
Yeah.
good stabber, which
Yes. Oh, I love that one too.
I'm a good stabber.
which
Yeah, then
predicted.
she said, like, now we can kill it when the dragon turns into a cat.
That was the best joke.
yeah.
I think that's my favorite joke where it's like weak now, so it's like, oh, now we can kill it. No, no,
Like
PB.
this really tender moment where this thing turns into a annoying cat and it's supposed to be a representation of transformative growth, and PB's just like immediately
wants to
kill.
I love the Choose Goose cameo.
Oh my
It's
god, I
just
forgot!
so
As soon as I saw
nice.
the hooded figure, I was like, choose goose, choose goose. I don't know why I knew. I think it's because of the hand. I think it's because his
Oh, that
hand
was
was out.
insane.
But I was like, choose goose.
I said literally that had better be Choose Goose, and it was, and I
What
screamed.
did he say? Like, oh, they're none the wiser for my illegal moisturizer.
Moisturizer.
That's literally what he said.
I can't believe I remembered that.
I it's good. I love all the callbacks
What
and
a-
I love all the jokes.
What a fantastic episode. You know, like, I have a lot of feelings whenever these episodes come out because I'm still a very, very sad boy over the finale and having it be over. And, like, talking about Adventure Time and participating in discussions still really hurts me to do. And that's why I really appreciate us doing this, because it helps me gather my thoughts. And now that my thoughts are gathered, like, that was such a good, phenomenal episode, and I'm really, really happy about that.
I'm really sad about this, but we're gonna have to move on to the final 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was actually about to do that.
All right.
All
right.
I was gonna say, on the topic of emotional breakdowns, as soon as Simon showed up and the van opened, as soon as Finn walked on screen, I immediately bawled my eyes out, because I immediately was like, I'm sorry, like, head empty, no Marceline, no bubblegum. It was just Finn and Jake right in that moment, and for the rest of the night, I was like, the implications of that tattoo shattered me. I was just like, first of all, okay, it's Finn. He's older. They had Jeremy do, like, that deeper voice, like, y'all got monster shrubs. Seeing Finn after all this, like, 2 years since we've seen him, like, canonically in the show, and the fact that he was all grown up, he looks so cute. Like, it was, and he obviously just gotten out of the shower, and they're like, hey, we got monster trouble. He didn't even grab anything. He's like, all right, I gotta go right now. Still out there to help his friends, but Jake wasn't there, and the tattoo is very clear in its implications. Very, very clear. And I was just like, I cannot deal with it. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, but that part...
I'm gonna need someone to physically stop me from getting that tattoo.
So, one of my first thoughts was like, I need that tattoo. Like, I need it. But, like, I feel it's sacred. I'm like, this is Finn's. Like, let's, like, flat out say it. Like, definitely, like, Jake is dead by this point. Like,
I don't think so, though. I don't think so, though.
Okay,
theories?
Please give me any other theory. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Okay, so, the last episode
I think
is
Jake
about
is dead.
Shut up! The last episode is about them getting back together for, like, one last adventure. So what if that takes place in, like, closer to the end of Adventure Time, and, like, they were, like, falling out a little bit because Jake's getting older, Finn's getting older, and they're falling apart because Finn wants to go on adventures, Jake wants to settle down, and then they just have an awesome bro-venture, and they get tattoos in the bro-venture, and then Adam's like, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean for you all to think Jake was dead.
That's a good theory.
Listen,
That's
I
time.
want to believe you. I really do.
What it made me wonder is, and this is probably wrong, because we thought the same thing after Remo, what if they're all prequels, and then that's definitely not the case. But it made me wonder, what if the Together Again episode is going to take place around this time, and so the reason Jake's not there is because him and Finn have grown apart for whatever reason, but they're going to get back together after this.
I don't like any of this. No, none of that. Okay.
Jake is dead, guys. Just accept
that
Jake is dead.
My implication, like, that tells the way that even they just reveal Finn in that really like surprise way. I think 100% the next episodes are in this time frame, and we're I don't know what happened.
Well,
I don't know what happened.
The next one is I'm like, obviously we don't know anything, but I'm like 80% certain that the Peppermint Butler one is going to be, like, very soon after the finale, because it's going to be about Peppermint Butler, like,
that's what I mean.
Not a baby anymore.
I didn't think that we would get older Finn in the 4th episode like we got this one. I think, like, that episode's going to be, like, kind of like a year after the finale, and we learn through flashbacks and regular things, like, all this stuff that happened, but, like, that doesn't ever... Like, it might end with, like, an emotional, like, when Finn's older scene, I don't know, but, like, if it doesn't, like, if we're like, what happened after that? That one scene just had all the implications we needed. Like, Finn grew up happy, and he would never forget Jake because of that tattoo.
He never got a new arm, guys.
I don't think that...
so
well,
sweet?
No, I think he got out of the shower. So
he got out of the shower.
Yeah, but then he starts dancing in the thing later, and he's shirtless to show off his tattoo, and he's just wearing pants.
I think he just didn't have his clothes with him.
The idea of that happening and Jake being dead is, like, fucking destroys me. But I think you're making an assumption about the Wizard City yet. We don't know how Candy people age. We don't know how old PB was. Now, that final scene, which I'll talk about in a second, we don't know how she ages. So what if Peppermint Butler takes a really long time to age? And what if it's like 200 years later or something in the Wizard City episode before everything goes to heck?
Goes to heck.
Yeah, I mean, we really can't. There's no way to tell at this point.
I mean, we kind of do know how Bubblegum ages. Like, it's just, like, about her mass.
Yeah,
I
but
hate that.
we don't know. We don't know.
It's just the same.
The
How the
precise-
heck does Bronwyn age, guys? What
Oh, yeah,
age
Bronwyn.
is she?
I was
Yes.
gonna mention Bronwyn. I'm hoping and I'm thinking the implication is that just Finn is hanging out with her because I don't think they're like
Yeah, I
trying
think
to.
it is.
I don't think they're trying to imply they're dating, especially because they weren't like
No,
dancing together at
no,
the
They're
end.
related. They're
Nah,
related, Chan.
nah.
Well, oh, so like Bronwyn's Jake's granddaughter. Yeah, so definitely.
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
that.
So
yeah,
so Finn is like a grunkle.
yeah.
I think he's just adventuring with
That's
her
really
right
cute.
now.
Then that's really cute.
I know it was because we don't know exactly how she ages because of Rainicorn genes being weird, but like, I'm sure she's a teen or young adult by this point, and I guess she goes on adventures with Finn, and I love that.
I do
that
love
for
that.
her.
I
cute.
love that too.
I want to
Can I
see
just
that.
say the one little joke where Finn's towel blew off and then Bubblegum just said,
Eh.
How many times has this
What did,
happened?
what did she say? Those are my people, and I'm so proud of them.
Yes.
so
she said
funny.
that.
yeah.
But going back to the assumption that Jake is actually dead, and
Yes,
my
he is.
my personal devastation aside, if Together Again was completely in the past before Obsidian, and they never mention what happened to Finn and Jake afterwards, like I as a fan would be not
Destroyed?
I'd be destroyed, but I think like just the thought that if Jake was dead here and Finn he got that beautiful like memorial tattoo right on his chest close to his heart and then just moved on is just such a beautiful statement in and of itself that I think I'm happy they showed it, because if all else fails and they don't show what happens in the end, like I have that memory and I think it's a really good one.
Okay, well, if my theory that I was proposing is that Together Again would take place after Obsidian, and I still think that might happen. But if it takes place before Obsidian, I think we might see Jake die in Together Again.
Well,
I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
think so. I really don't think
that's
they'll
what I was
do
gonna
that.
say. I didn't know if they were gonna just not show that and just like leave the tattoo scene on its own and its implications. Like, I don't
I
know.
really think, for some reason, my instincts still tell me that Together Again's gonna be young Finn, like the
As
Finn
a
that
bi-
we know, and
as
not
a
the
big-
older
No.
Finn.
As a big Finn and Jake fan myself, I'm really hoping it's in the similar vein of Obsidian in the sense that it weaves in flashbacks
Yeah.
to present day.
Yeah.
And I listen. Just like I'm like, you have to have a really good reason for Marceline and PB to like fall out like they did. I'm like, I swear to God, if you're like, oh, Finn stole Jake's sandwich and they stopped talking for 5 years, I'll be so angry. I just want them to treat them with respect and like, I think when they say like restore brotherly bonds, which is what I'm going off of, because the little excerpt we have of the episode says they have to restore brotherly bonds. My hope is that after their treehouse exploded, like Finn went to live with the humans for a while, and Jake maybe went with Lady Rainicorn, and like they got together again. Oh, they got together again because something happens, and they haven't been together for a while because life kind of moved on. So they're not mad at each other, but like they haven't been with each other for a bit just because of circumstance. And I think that's a good explanation, because if they're mad at each other, I'm like, you need a good reason.
I want to see Finn. I mean, the humans are in U now, by the way, so it's not that much of a trip. But I want to see Finn interact with his mother in this episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
me too.
That's what I just thought of when Chen said that.
I think it will happen. I think it will happen, especially like they showed Simon too. Like I don't know, they just like they have to do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we had Martin of all people, so
Yeah.
I mean, Minerva makes sense.
Not to
Okay,
go on.
so
Please.
question.
Go ahead.
How come Distant Lands poster was very much space and sci-fi?
I know, right? I was thinking
When
about that. I haven't looked at the poster again, but
Bubblegum and
there's still-
Marceline.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I
think
thought- I
it's-
thought Glass
at
King
this
was gonna be
point,
different.
at this point, I think it was just to bait us. Like,
It was
I
a red
think,
herring.
Like they
Yeah.
didn't because so much of the content of really this episode in particular, but even BMO like having Martin cameo and stuff. Like they don't want us to know any of these episodes really. Like the fact that we even have descriptions, like we shouldn't. I think we shouldn't have descriptions.
Yeah, I think maybe, and
Yeah.
you could make the case like, oh, like Distant Lands, and like these are all like far away plot lines and memories,
Yeah.
like, and space is out there in someplace far away. You're like, here you go, like these are all. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right though. I was like, I thought it was gonna be all space when we originally saw the poster.
Yeah, because Bubblegum had a space helmet and shit.
No, she had a motorcycle helmet on. She had a motorcycle
Yeah.
helmet on.
Motors.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I'm so happy we're in the land of Ooh again, because when BMO landed in the first episode and we were in Ooh for like half a second, I was like, it's land of Ooh, oh my god, and like just
Like
having,
you miss it.
Yeah, I just wanted to see post finale land of Ooh, so I'm really happy about
It was
that.
nice to see Candy Kingdom, guys.
Yeah, not to turn this too hard into like Together Again expectations, especially because that's not even the next episode. I just have to say it while I'm thinking about it. I hope what I was saying before, where I hope they treat Finn and Jake with the same respect. From their episode, I would really love to see how them as young kids and how they dealt with Marceline, oh my god, Margaret and Joshua dying. And I want to see the moment when Jake turns from a baddie, steely guy into Finn's best friend, because I think there could be some really good stuff there. Like maybe Finn tries too hard to follow in his footsteps and he gets hurt, and Jake is like, no, you shouldn't do this, and he's like, but you do it, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna stop if you stop. I don't know. There's a lot to explore, and I hope they do it. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I know I could talk about it forever, but
What is
Save it for the Together Again
Yeah.
What if it
expectation
takes
video.
place in the same time period as all the other 3 Adventure Time specials?
Oh.
And like
that'd
in
be-
various flashbacks, and then you go back at the end to the.
That's
you go in the far
interesting.
future.
That's interesting because BMO's was in the past with like their flashback. Then he was older in this one, and then maybe they'll have a cameo in the third one, and then maybe there'll be like flashbacks interweaving each of. I don't know, because I'm pretty sure Adam said in a Comic-Con like they're all connected, kind of in a way or something, but he couldn't
Yeah.
say why.
I feel like maybe Wizard City will end with a cliffhanger. Maybe like just because it's Together Against the final one, that makes sense to me if they kind of build it up.
My secret is that since they announced all 4 episodes, Wizard City has been the one I've been like least interested in. And that being said, it also has the most potential to surprise me in a good way. So I have a feeling it will be really good.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like that hypothetical idea for what Together Again could be. It sounds really good. And I just don't want to get my hopes up that high. I'm just worried.
I'm trying to keep my expectations in check because like this is a very important episode for me because I felt like the finale didn't do Finn and Jake justice in a lot of ways because they were sort of side characters, and I really wanted it to focus. When I heard Time Adventure, and I didn't hear it ahead of time, I wasn't spoiled, but I saw lyrics of it on Tumblr, and I was like, that's a Finn and Jake song. They're gonna Jake's gonna sing to Finn, and something's gonna happen. But it was beautiful. Not anyway, but I was just like,
There's a beating song.
I
It's
wanted
like,
a Finn and
God.
I wanted an emotional Finn and Jake moment because they don't do them very often because they they're comic relief sometimes or most of the time, I guess. But
No,
anyway.
I understand that episode is going to be to you what this episode was to me, something you've
That's
been waiting for like 10
exactly.
years. So
It's like it's literally like closure for me. I'm like, you guys have a chance to like ruin me or make me happy for the rest of my life, so don't effing mess it up.
So like to round off how Tipsy started this, I relate in a way where like I'm just really appreciative of this episode that they treated the 2 girls well. And I grew up with this ship. I was 14 years old, I think, and then I didn't know I was gay, and then I met this ship and I was like, no, there's no way I ship it. And then I drew ship art in secret, and I was like, oh no way I'm gay. Guess what, guys? I'm gay.
oh my god.
So it's just nice to have it's nice to have like real
closure.
characters.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really good closure, and I'm so happy.
I know this isn't like an Owl House podcast, but like for this episode, I think I would give it a 9.5, like very close to perfection for me.
Yeah,
honestly.
same.
After talking about it, like, because I was confused on my emotions, because I was really sad, because like I said, Adventure Time's hard for me to really get into, like, emotionally. Well, no, you know what I mean. It hurts to look at it, because I'm like, I miss it so much. But like, talking about it and thinking about the episode and discussing it, like a 9.5 feels right. It was so good.
Can I just say, when I first saw Adventure Time and I first saw Marceline with her really pretty hair, and I was 15 years old and in the closet, I kind of felt like another 15-year-old that was in the closet that was at the end of this episode. Can we talk about the final scene and the dance and the flashback that happened after it?
Yeah, bubblegum.
Oh, we didn't even mention that. I loved that scene. She's like, we never get to dance
Oh, I'm
together.
gonna cry.
You're usually the one performing, and Marceline's like, I have a lot of new songs, real sappy
And then
ones.
that's when Marceline throws the t-shirt at
Yeah, we didn't talk
Bubblegum.
about the t-shirt flashback was so
Yeah,
can't believe
Hynden Walsh's voice acting in that scene, by the way, is amazing. The way her voice
The
is so
emotion
gentle
is so
and emotional,
good.
and she says
It's so
"I always love-"
genuine, right?
And all of the flashbacks that we saw before were basically either Marceline or Marceline and PB, either Kid Marceline or Marceline and PB, and then we go to Kid PB seeing Marceline for the first time. You know, Kid PB's history and all the conflict she's been in and how she's not really been able to do kid things, but she's here at a concert with other kids and watching Marceline, who is probably 200 at this point, do a thing, and she's just like us. She's just like where we were. No, she's just like us, standing Marceline.
Seeing her for the first time and being so in love and like just thinking she's so cool and
Yeah.
then snowballing from
And
there.
sort of
I'm
finding-
gonna cry. I'm gonna
sort
start
of finding
crying.
out what love means. And Marceline did too. Like she said in the episode, like she's good for me. Like I don't know if she said like she completes me. You know, it was some sort of sentiment like that. But it was really like they were, you know, for each other. They completed each other and they boost each other up and they made each other happy. And it's so wonderful.
I'm really glad.
I just felt
that-
it was such an innocent scene, like that scene at the end. Like PB was like in the same shoes that Finn was at the start of the series. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And obviously everything happened in the series, and that she grew up and they had a relationship. But it came from such a pure place, and I was shocked. What were you going to say, Dom?
I love seeing these characters grow up. It means so much to me.
Especially like it's a magical thing to, you know, to grow up with the show and us being older now and like feeling like, look, they're older now too, and like they're happy. It's like makes me happy too. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just because like the crew of the show like realizes the power of this. Like they meticulously really went in on this episode to make it what they know we wanted, but not just, you know, knowing what the fans want, but just like knowing what would be such a perfect closure and continuation for this.
Yeah, because there really is a difference with like making a ship canon just because like that's what the fandom wants, and making a ship canon because it's what's right.
Yeah.
And they did it. I feel like I'm hoping at least that they still had their like artistic integrity and still wanted to write about the stuff they wanted, while at the same time satisfying us because they're just good at that.
Yeah,
There's no
I
way
think they
this is
accomplished
forced.
it all.
There's no way this is forced by anyone. This is just too well written to be forced in for like marketing or any reasons like that. They must have pushed for this. I mean, this is still aimed at kids, by the way, if you've forgotten. So I have no idea what conversations they had with Cartoon Network when they pitched this episode to them and said, all right, we're just going to literally write PB and Marcy in an actual relationship, like openly, no holds barred, calling each other girlfriend, and oh my god.
I have to mention this before I forget, because I forgot to. When Marceline finishes singing Monster and PB goes in to kiss her, Marceline's "Oh" was the cutest thing I've ever heard. Her "Oh" was so well voice acted. Just like, oh my god, I loved it.
It is so good, guys.
That
It's
reaction,
just so great how you know, this whole specials is all about their relationship and the, you know, struggles they had and how they've had to grow, and like for the whole series, every time we've seen them in the whole series, they've already sort of known each other and been through this stuff. But then at the very end, like for just, it's not at all what it's about. We just got a little glimpse in that final flashback of what is presumably the first time they met or saw each other. That's just so nice.
I agree with that. I love the little T-shirt thing, like that flashback in particular.
I'm gonna
like,
start crying.
melted
I
me.
know.
Like it was just enough. Like they really did. Like they hit every flashback just enough is what they showed us, and it was so good.
like the entire ending, like the kiss in the cave song, the Nyan Cat, the scene where Finn showed up, the dance, and then if you think we haven't seen enough, if we think the episode is over, at the final 10 seconds, here is something else for you to think about for the next 5 years.
Yeah. And it
Everyone
felt
say thank you, Adventure Time.
oh my god, thank you, Adventure
Thank you,
Time.
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
Thank you to the crew, and thank you HBO
you,
Max.
crew.
I don't know, I'm just
Thank
like
you, Distant Lands
I don't
crew.
know
You
which-
guys are
Yeah.
amazing.
I don't know which big corporation I have to thank you. I'm just like I don't know who was responsible, but thank everyone. And you know, to us fans, like this means the absolute world, and it feels like closure in the best way possible, and it's so amazing, honestly.
God, I'm emotional now.
Me too. Me too.
Closing
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah,
Um.
I'm good. I said my thoughts.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really.
Remember
Alright.
when we started with criticisms and now we're all fine?
I know. I
the
know.
thing about
It's like
The
that's
thing about the
problem,
criticisms is they were kind of nitpicky in my case at least, but like, yeah, like I agree though. Like a lot of the criticism they came in with, I also now disagree with because I'm like, okay, we talked about it and you're right.
It's just like I was trying to say, like, what's so good about this episode is so fucking good that like who cares that they forget Glassboy, like they animate his eyes weird in a shot or whatever.
Yeah.
Look what they did with this.
I hope whoever watches this stays for like the second half because they're like, wow, they hate this. I'm turning it off.
Let's just cut the first half of the episode out and just have us gushing about it for I don't think that would be true, but I'm thinking of ways to condense the ep anyway, so...
I mean, I still don't like how we don't see them go from refusing the call to accepting it. But whatever, that doesn't matter. Everything else is great and perfect.
I think, like, yeah, we do have criticisms, and there are ways to improve the episode as an episode. But I think they just like did their mission, you know, like they did their goal, and that's what matters.
They had huge things to accomplish with this. Like there was a lot. Like this episode was a very difficult thing to do right, and they did it, and I'm just really happy about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But that's my
Thanks
thoughts
for
on
talking to me
Obsidian.
about this, guys.
Okay,
Thank you,
guys.
Obsidian.
well-
Thank you, Jake's Meatloaf crew.
We're gonna go cry about this now, so thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next. We'll see you some our next review.
Yeah.
Okay, bye bye.
Yeah, bye.